Hi, it's Patsy and I'm come on today to do a hashtag, and it's the 10 Forever cards. And I was tagged in by Julia over at Highly Sensitive Tarot to do this tag, and it's by Nova Luna Tarot. So the idea is to show 10 of your favourite cards from your decks. It can be whatever decks you want from what I understand, whether that's Tarot, Oracle, Lenormand or whatever. I've actually chosen 10 from tarot decks. Now I could have really dug deep into this and kind of dragged all my tarot decks out, but it would have took forever. So I just picked the ones that came to my mind, sort of thing, especially from decks that I use quite often. So the first one that I'm going to show you is, there's two from this deck, Tarot of the Hidden Realms. It's one of my all-time favourite decks. It would definitely be in my top 3, within my top 2 I would say, and there's 2 from this one. So the first one is this 5 of Cups, and I love this image because I know sometimes when you get stuck into that 5 of Cups energy, it feels like your emotions are overwhelming you. It feels like you can see the tides coming over. It's just like this feeling of your emotions just totally overtaking everything, and it's got like horses, they're sort of that galloping towards you and there's no way of stopping it, and it just overcomes you. It's just that feeling that overcomes you. So I actually love this depiction of the 5 of Cups. So that is the first one. The second one, and I don't know what it is about this card, I've been thinking about this one. This is one of my all-time favourites from this deck, and it's the King of Pentacles. Now he looks a bit like Santa Claus, doesn't he? With the little pixie girl on his knee, the forest around him and what have you. There's just something so calming and peaceful about this card. And it's my favourite King of Pentacles. And when I think about it, I just think he's got this really kind, grandfatherly face when he's got his granddaughter on his knee. And they're just enjoying spending time together. And that was something what was missing, I think, from my life growing up. I didn't have that grandfather figure who was cuddly and wanted you to sit on his knee and to show affection. You didn't even have parents like that, to be honest, but I certainly didn't have grandparents. So I think it's one of those cards that always makes me kind of smile, in a nostalgic kind of wanting way, I suppose. But it's just one of those cards that makes me smile, so he had to be included. So that is the King of Pentacles from, chucking them away, Tarot of the Hidden Realms. So the next one is my favourite all-time Death card, and it comes from Poppy Palin, the Everyday Enchantment. This card is stunning. It's one of my favourite Death cards, as I say. It's just gorgeous. It's the elderly grandmother with her young grandchild sitting on a bench in the forest, and they're enjoying spending time together. And the grandmother knows she's coming to the end of her life. She knows that, you know, her time is coming, her time to leave, and she's spending the time with her grandchild. The birds are indicating the messengers from the realm, letting her know her time's coming. And the figure here is a depiction of the grandmother's soul, spiritual essence, if you like, what will remain. And she's looking on, waiting. And yeah, it's just that life story, isn't it? You know, the progression of life, birth to death. And my belief is that there is, you know, something afterwards. You don't just disappear and die. So yeah, I love that depiction. So that is the Death card. So the next one I'm going to show you is the 8 of Swords. Now it's just this one that I'm showing you because this is the one that was handy and the one that I'm using at the minute, but it can be any 8 of Swords from any deck. It makes no difference to me. I don't particularly have one that I prefer over the other. This is just my Stalker card. This one comes out for me an awful lot and always has done. And when it does come out, I know that there is something that I'm overthinking, that I'm getting in my head about making mountains out of molehills, and I really have to stop and kind of take a look at myself. I suffer from anxiety anyway, and it's very easy for me to get in my head when something's going on and overthink things. So when this comes up, I know that I need to really stop and take stock of what's going on in that head of mine and try and work it out and to work through it, because we all know the Eight of Swords, you know, she isn't trapped there. She can get out of that situation. It's just she thinks she can't. But yeah, so it doesn't matter what Eight of Swords it is, from what deck. It's just like I say, at the minute I'm using the Heaven and Earth. So I've just pulled this Eight of Swords. So the next one I'm going to show you is one that makes me smile, and it's from the Deviant Moon Tarot. And again, it's the Five of Cups, but it's such a different depiction to the Five of Cups. And we have this one. And this one always makes me smile. It's him sitting there like fingers in his ears, la la la, not listening. And even though the depiction here of the Five Cups is very similar to what you would see in the Rider-Waite and most decks, the actual other part of it is quite unusual, I think. And this is kind of the wife berating the husband for making such a mess with these cups. The rose symbolises that at one time they had this loving relationship. Now they've got this brick wall between them. But the Two of Cups kind of lets you know that they can work things out. But he's fed up of being nagged. He's just sitting there like, no, 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 not listening. But when this comes up for me in this deck, I can't get past this. So I kind of forget about it being the Five of Cups, and it's like, what am I not listening to? Somebody's trying to tell me something, or I know something I should be listening to, taking notice of, but I'm sort of like, no, not listening. But yeah, this is one that always makes me smile. So that is the Five of Cups from the Deviant Moon. So the next ones I'm going to show you is my favourite card from the Crow Tarot, which is also my, I think probably my all-time favourite hermit card. And we've got the crow sitting in the tree. All the leaves, everything gone now. It's obviously winter. You've got the snow coming down. He's sitting there all by himself. There's nobody around him. He's got his lantern and he's looking deep. He's spending time, he's reflecting. And there's just something about this card that I really like. I mean, out of all of my hermit cards, I think this probably has to be my favourite. He just looks so alone. But he's just, you know, thinking about things, is working things out, is going within. He doesn't need anybody else around him. He's got the light there, and is really looking into what he needs to be looking into. So yeah, that's a lovely card. So the next one that I'm going to show you is from one of my favourite decks, the Shadowscapes Tarot. I love the Shadowscapes. I know sometimes the images can be a bit tiny, but I just love it. And it's the Tower card. Now, this year has been the Tower year for me. It's if people know my backstory of what's gone on this year, they will know that I am having this Tower energy, especially at the beginning of the year. I hope I'm coming through it now. But I particularly like this Tower because, as with most cards in the Shadowscapes, it's a little bit gentler. It's not quite in your face and quite catastrophic looking. You've not got people being thrown at, you know, jumping out of the windows and anything like that. It's quite a gentle image. But the reason I particularly like this one is the actual bolt of lightning and the fire that's, you know, resulted from this bolt, and destruction is caused at the top of this tree. It's been something that's been built on this tree, gone up and built up, but built there, which is a bit like my life, you know. Everything down here is the basis, if you like, the truth, really, I suppose. And what I was told I was built this life, this way of being, thinking who I was, and all the rest of it was built on this tree. But as I found out this year, no, none of this is true. This is all false. And you can't sustain falsehood. You know, we all need to know the truth. So this is breaking down this lie, what was built on lies, this life what was built from untruths, if you like, and taking me back down to the basics, to where the truth is, and to rebuild on what I know is facts and truth. And even though this is painful, taking me back down to here to discover who I truly am, it's for the best. You can't live a life based on lies. So I like this depiction for that reason. But I just love this deck anyway. But that's the Tower. So the next one that I'm going to show you, I'm just trying to have a look. Yeah, it's my final 2 cards. No, 3 cards, sorry. And this is from, again, my top 2. And it's between the Slavic Legends Tarot and Tarot of the Hidden Realms, which is going to take top spot. I'm not decided, but they're both up there in my top 2 anyway. So the first one is the Devil. I just love the depiction of this devil. A bit of a glare coming there. Let's try this way. So tiny and insignificant to this devil, to this fear, to this larger than life entity that they've got themselves tied to, because it makes you feel so insignificant, and it's something that terrifies you, or you're fearful of. So you keep yourself small instead of facing that and realising that you can get out of this, you can undo these changes, you can release yourself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's just something about this image that to me really is, yeah, that's the devil energy. So the next one is the High Priestess, again from the same deck. Like I said, all these 3 are the same deck. And this is the High Priestess, and I just love this High Priestess. It's probably because I'm very much into plants and herbs, and this is all like you would expect a green witch or cottage witch or that sort of thing. You're working with herbs and plants, but you've got everything you need there. You've got the side there, what looks like the half moon. She's got the pillars either side of her. So you got everything you need in the High Priestess. It's just done in such a way that it's very, very comforting in a way, but also to me, with all those plants and herbs and what have you, it's more relatable, I think, than what you very often see on the Rider-Waite depictions. I just love this card and the energy of this card. And then the last one is the 9 of Swords. There we go. And again, I love this because she's asleep, but you can see she's not having the best of, easiest of sleeps, but she's got these nightmares coming to her in her sleep. And obviously the 9 of Swords is all about that nightmare and sleepless nights and overthinking and worrying and all the rest of it. And this is, those dreams when you wake up from nightmares and you feel these things coming at you in your sleep and what have you. This is obviously what this is depicting, and I just think it's such a clever way, because normally you just see her sitting in a bed sort of crying sort of thing, or upset because she can't sleep and she's being filled with terror or whatever. But I quite like this one. It's quite different, where you're seeing the nightmares that she's having. So yeah, so that is the 3 from the Slavic Legends Tarot. So that's my top 10 cards. I could have picked 10 completely different ones for 10 completely different reasons, but these are particular favourites of mine from the decks that I use most often. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing other people who do this tag. it's a nice tag. I've got so many tags to get on and do, I just haven't had the time, but hopefully I'll get through them in this next week. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.